Welcome back to College Conversations. I'm Dr. Fedor, and I help you navigate college. Please remember to hit like and subscribe and share this video with other students who also might find it helpful. Today, I have with me my two favorite history professors, Dr. Laura McNeil and Dr. Damian Murray. Hi, how are you?
It's good to see you again,
Hi,
Janice.
Good. Thanks for joining me. So, what advice can you give students majoring in history as an undergraduate?
My advice would be for them to aim broadly, to follow their interests and their passions, and to really, take advantage of whatever opportunities there are to take classes, not just in history, but in other areas of, the humanities, the liberal arts, and the professional fields, because you never really know how that's going to impact your major and your potential for getting employment in the future.
And I would add a couple of things. The advice I would give to all undergraduate students is make the most of your college experience.
Yeah.
Think about extracurricular activities, opportunities to grow, to maybe add something unusual to your resume, a different experience. All these things will be helpful, when you're on the job market. And the second thing I would add as well, especially for history majors and all humanities majors who don't necessarily have a clear professional track, unlike nursing or accountancy or so forth, would be to take advantage of any opportunities to do internships. Because you can still, for example, working in a museum, you get an opportunity to, deepen your understanding of history content, but at the same time develop skills such as, maintaining a website, putting on events, and so forth.
Oh, no, that's good advice. So taking advantage of activities in college and just taking advantage of that time is something that I've been talking about in my videos. Do you ever recommend students have a double major if they have history as their major, or recommend a minor? Is there a certain minor that you would recommend?
Well, I think that in our program, there's plenty of room for them to double major, and there's plenty of room for them to adopt a minor. I mean, we've had students who've actually majored in history and minored in two separate things. I think that it's a good idea to do it if it's something that you can handle responsibly. I wouldn't just be like a butterfly collector,
right?
But if there's something that, you might want to pursue, you might have an interest in, in another field, there's nothing but positive things that can come from that.
Yeah, and I'm sure many students could also benefit from even a sort of a minor that had a professional stance, marketing, for example, something like that, or even a foreign language, Spanish, French, whatever. Just something that you'll enjoy, but also something that you think might help to make you marketable to a future employer.
Do any of your students ever go on to graduate school?
I'd say most of them. It might not be right out of college. I don't actually think that's specific to history. I think that's becoming the trend in any number of different areas, including in professional fields. I think that, getting the MBA or the MA or what have you is becoming more and more common in order to get the jobs that, you really want.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Laura's saying there, you will find most of our majors will eventually end up taking a graduate degree. Some decide to go back to teach, some masters in education. Some, as she says, do an MBA. We've had some students who go on to do masters in museum studies and so forth. So, I think, and that's another thing I think is important too, is if students aren't sure what professionals or career they want to have, it's okay to take a liberal arts major as an undergraduate, because the reality is that you can choose a professional graduate degree afterwards. And I think a lot of them, that's becoming more common nowadays.
Any final advice for the history students?
Get to know your make friends and build relationships.
Get to know your faculty.
Yes. But also, administrators, staff, any student, get to know people. Colleges is a chance for you to build your own social and professional network, but in ways, contacts that actually will come back to benefit you in the long time. And so, yeah, just enjoy it. Remember why you went to college, which is you chose this major because you're actually interested in it and enjoy it.
I think, I would advise them not to be fearful when you are, 18, 19, 20 years old and you don't know exactly what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Right.
Like I actually worry about people who know exactly what they're going to do for the rest of their life when they're 18 years old. I think the thing about a history major, or really, anything in the humanities and large sections of the liberal arts, is it trains the student to think more creatively, to have more critical thinking skills, to express themselves in a coherent, rational way, to create arguments. I guess the point is those are transferable skills. There's any number of different, applications for those skills. So in that sense, don't be afraid. It's, you see a lot of people around you maybe who know exactly what they're doing with the rest of their lives.
Right.
And my advice to history majors is that you don't allow that to, freak you out and make you feel like you've got to commit to something, or, take your time. It's okay, because once again, undergraduate is only in most cases just the beginning. So, use it as a time to explore all sorts of different things, not just in your history major, but in all different aspects of what your college has to offer you. And then once you kind of have a sampling of this and that, you'll be able to choose a career path that's more sincere and that has a better chance of success in the long run.
I agree.
That is great advice, Dr. McNeil and Dr. Murray. Thanks so much again for joining me. Please remember to hit like and subscribe, and remember to keep learning.